What's up, Grace family? Just want to give you all a brief recap of what we talked about this past Sunday. And we do this for two reasons. The first one is because it's no good to hear the truth and not to remember it, but it's also not good to know the truth and not to apply it. And so the hope is that as we do these Tuesday recaps, that you will be able to remember what we talked about, but also apply and make it practical to your daily life. You know, some of you weren't here this past Sunday, and so this will be good for you to, know what we talked about, but to also apply it in your life. So I hope you take that in consideration. This past Sunday, we talked about Luke 5, verse 22, Luke 5, verse 17, where Jesus was being demanded in a way to heal people of their infirmities. But it says he withdrew to a desolate place. He withdrew to a desolate place. So what we see is this war between something that is urgent and something that is important and valuable. And so when we talk about what's important, we're talking about things that are internal. We're talking about things that are lasting. We're talking about things that are planned and preparing us for something. When we talk about urgent matters, we're talking about external demands. External things, talking about things that are temporary. We're talking about things that require us to respond immediately. And what happens in life is that we live in a very fast world where everything is instant, where people are demanding us all the time. We want to be here, we want to serve here. But what happens sometimes is we are living in this urgent category where we're responding to all these things that are external, but we don't make room for the things that are internal. And so we'll go serve at whatever it is, we'll go help whatever business, we'll go do all these things, we'll respond to these emails late at night, but at the expense of rest, at the expense of connecting with your wife, with connecting with your husband, at the expense of doing things that rejuvenate your spirit, like reading or worshiping. We prioritize more so this urgent category than we do the important and valuable category sometimes. And so why does this matter for marriage? If we are to have a marriage that reflects the image between Christ and the church, it is important that we're being intentional about connecting with our spouse in a way that allows us to create seeds that grow our marriage in a way that honors God. And sometimes my wife and I, we get home and I might respond to an email, she might respond to an email, and she'll ask me, Malcolm, can it wait? Or I ask her, love, can it wait? And most of the time the answer is yes. Because we get in trouble when, I'm not talking about this spouse, but I'm saying one way we get vulnerable is when we are responding to urgent things that are not important. You know, sometimes something that we make urgent is not as important as we're making it. And it should not be at the expense of our marriages. It should not be at the expense of our loved ones. And so I just want to encourage you to ask your spouse, ask your husband, ask your wife, hey, what are some things that I can do to help create more room for the important and valuable things in your life? Because what that does for your marriage is it keeps the main thing the main thing. And it creates room for you to be able to say what is happening outside of our home is not going to influence what's happening inside our home. What is happening outside of our marriage is not going to rob us of connecting in a way that honors our marriage. And so that's kind of what we talked about this past week. I hope that was encouraging. So Wednesday we have service at 7 p.m. So we'd love to have you worship with us, connect with us midweek. It's just a way to be intentional about, being in community, throughout the week. Looking forward to seeing you this Sunday at 10:15. Hey, I want to know what God's doing in your life throughout the week. And so I might ask for people to share, just give a testimony of what God's been doing in your life presently. Because what that does for all of us is it encourages us and it gives us new perspective of how God can operate in our lives. And so I want to make that a part of our rhythm in here. And so be thinking about that with your spouse, pray about it. And I look forward to seeing you all this Sunday. Peace.